Just across the street from an elementary school in suburban Los Angeles, a house holding alleged sex slaves from China. Thelma Gutierrez reports as part of CNN's ongoing Freedom Project, this is not an isolated case.
We're going to be doing a UC operation at the brothel.
It's 9 a.m. The Orange County Human Trafficking Task Force is about to jump into action, and our cameras were there.
You have a male and a female who sex at the house.
They're about to bust an international prostitution ring called Operation China Doll.
Have the undercover go up to the door and knock on it.
For Westminster police investigator Mark Knight, this is the culmination of a 7-month investigation.
Police department, search warrant. Anybody here? Make yourself known.
4 suspects are arrested and accused of pimping and pandering as many as 10 women from rural China.
Do you believe the women were victims of human trafficking?
Yes, I do.
Based on what?
Based on control with immigration status.
Nye says the women were brought here on visitor visas.
They didn't speak any English. They were in these brothels where there was no transportation for them to and from. They were dropped off at these locations, left for days at a time with no clothing, very little food. A lot of times they went right from the airport directly to a brothel.
Inside the brothels, boxes of condoms and cash hidden in the freezer. In the suspected pimp's home, pregnancy test kits and thousands of dollars stuffed into marked envelopes.
The victims are sleeping with as many as 10 men a day, and they're charging $160 per person.
Is it your impression that this is just one of many?
Yes, no question about it.
This woman, we'll call Sue, has lived the nightmare. For 6 years, she was a sex slave. Like the Chinese women who were trafficked to Orange County, Sue was also brought to the U.S. from South Korea on a false promise of legitimate work. After paying a recruiter $7,000, she was sent to a brothel in San Francisco, where she was advertised on the internet and beaten into submission.
Did you ever try to run away?
In the beginning, I said no all the time, and I got beaten a lot.
Do you believe that the customers knew that you were doing this against your will?
But Sue was a profitable commodity, earning her pimps thousands of dollars a week. Like the Chinese women in Orange County, she was given little to eat and little to wear.
I only slept for 4 hours. The windows were all boarded up. Door was locked and only the manager was able to open it. There's nobody to help me.
Even worse, Sue couldn't speak English. She didn't know where she was and says there were 30 others just like her living in fear.
I think that once we start locking up these people who are doing the trafficking, that maybe the victims will come forward.
In the China Doll sting operation, the suspects pleaded not guilty to pimping and pandering. Investigators are still hoping trafficking charges will be filed against them.
What would you want to tell the clients about what this does to a person's humanity?
We are humans. We are not animals. Please think of us as your child. Just once, please think of us as your child. It's so hard for me to live my life. It's very hard for me to live.
Sue was finally able to escape 5 years ago. Even so, the emotional scars and memories continue to hold her captive.